Howdy, howdy, howdy. Happy to be here and happy you're here with me. And if you're new here and enjoy this content, I do hope you'll subscribe. Okay, my name is Heather and this is Southern Gals Crochet. Hi. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things because I've been kind of MIA and so I've been up to a little bit of stuff. Alright, first thing we're going to talk about is last weekend. I had a 3-day event, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It was the Wool Week 2025. And it's a lot of fiber artists, and they had, sheep shearing and rabbit hair being processed into yarn, and it's just a lot of fun. And I sometimes feel a little out of place there because most all of my stuff is made with acrylic yarn, but I always do well at this event. And Friday was a nice hot day, a typical Texas hot day, and with a slight breeze. And it was a perfect day, but it was slow. It was really slow. It was a Friday. Kids are still in school. People still at work, so I did end up making, I think it was right at $99. And Saturday, so I was really looking forward to Saturday because, more traffic. And Saturday went exceptionally well. I ended up making a total of Friday and Saturday $509. But right at the end of Saturday, the winds went from 12 to 13 miles an hour to 25 miles an hour. Tables were being blown over, and I was literally chasing my product down because the wind gusts would come through and just literally lift the stuffed animals right up out of the bins and onto the ground. So I left about an hour and a half early that day. And the event was 3 days, but according to the weather, Sunday was going to be just as windy, if not even more windy. And I was like, no, that's not happening. I'm not going to be chasing down my product like I was that Saturday. So Sunday we stayed home. So, like I said, $509 in total sales. And 159 of it was cash. And all the rest of it was square. So, definitely glad I had some internet on my phone. I had data available, and because I don't know if you remember last year, I ran out of data right at the wrong time. So I always check that now. That's part of my routine before any event. Make sure you've got data just in case you don't have availability for Wi-Fi anywhere. So, anyway, so we got that done. It really was a really good Saturday. I was impressed. I was really worried after Friday being so slow, because there was a lot of concern about the weather, and thankfully it all came out in the end, and I'm glad we decided to stay home that last day. Let's see. So let's see what else is on my list. Okay, let's talk about yarn. So, as everyone knows, Joann's is closing, and I had put in for 3 yarn orders. One yarn order was, of course, Posh and Baby Bear. And then the second order was Velvet Yarn and Baby Bunny. And the third order was acrylic. Well, all of my third order got canceled. I just found that out this morning. The whole third order got canceled. And yesterday we were doing some errands in town, and I was like, the big city, I should say. And I was like, let's run by the Joann's and see how that's doing. See if there's anything I can pick up there. And I have never seen something so sad in my whole experience of buying yarns. But the yarn aisles were, I would say, 99.5% empty. I did manage to pick up around 10 balls of cotton, just your regular peaches and cream, or what's the other one? I can't think of it right now, but sugar and cream, something like that. Little bitty balls. I picked up about 10 balls, and I literally had to hunt those down in the aisles. They were like everywhere. They were not just in one little spot. They were spread out. People, like, I guess, pick one up and decide not to get it and just put it back somewhere else. I don't know. But the aisles were a mess. I mean, it almost looked like they hadn't cleaned up in at least 2 or 3 days. The product was just falling off the shelves, just, it was a mess. It was sad. And, yeah, there was no yarn. The only thing that they had an abundance of was that super chunky blanket yarn. Like super big, that you actually do with your hands instead of with a hook, I would think. It's so big. I ain't got no use for anything like that. But that was the only thing they had a super abundance of. Oh, and that little loopy yarn with the already pre-made loops on it. I never got into that either. So that was a sad thing. I actually came out of the store with just 2 little bags. 2 little tiny bags. I mean, normally, if I was going to the store, I would come out with a shopping cart full, plus some extra bags, big bags. But, sad day. Alright. So I have received all of the orders that I'm ever going to receive from Joann's. So sad. Okay, let's go to a happier, maybe not a happier, but a different subject. So, a lot of my days here lately have been consumed with going over to my lady's house and trying to get it ready for her niece. She's coming down from New York. We cleaned out the refrigerator, we cleaned out the pantry, and just trying to get it as ready as we can for her so that it's not so much on her to deal with because she's only going to be here for a few days. And so we've been doing that. And in between doing that, I have been packing my crochet into my bag, crocheting on my way over there. Excuse me. And then crocheting on my way back, you know. And just trying to consume every moment I can with crochet. I still didn't yield to very much. It felt like I was getting there, but it really wasn't a whole lot. Alright, and so let's get on to what I have done. I wanted to share one little thing before I jump into that. I got a new toy. I got a new toy, and I am obsessed. So, I don't know if any of y'all have seen this. It's called a tulip, and it makes an I cord, and it just goes round and round and round and round, and it, to me, it is like therapy. Just the click, 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 and the accomplishment of making a cord, it's just so repetitive and soothing, and maybe not to y'all, but it is to me. And I could just sit here and make and make and make. But I did purchase the equipment and wire to make names. And of course I made this with the wrong wire because it's very flexy. It's a 2 millimeter. You really need a 3 millimeter for aluminum wire. 3 millimeter aluminum wire. But yeah, this was so much fun to make, and I made hubby his, and I made some for my nieces, and so I really got into doing that, and that was fun. It was like a little escape from crochet, and I do plan on doing a whole bunch more. Like maybe even a whole section of my booth will just be wire art. And I wanted to talk about this blanket that I did. I did this a couple of weeks ago, and at my event. And when I got home after the video that I did, my shipment, I had bought some foam squares that interlock with each other and some T-pins. So I put the blankets out on the mat and blocked them, right? And then I was, measuring them, and, they're approximately 32 by 32. I was incorrect. Last time I said 33 by 33, but they are actually 32 by 32. But this one, I did it with a K hook instead of an L hook. And so it is a 28. So I'm thinking I'm going to have to go around and tear out the trim and add more extra rows to it to make it the size it needs to be. Because I really don't think anybody's going to want to buy a 28 by 28 square. I couldn't believe I did that. That was just like, oh my gosh, really? But that's what you get for, I was such a scatterbrain for so many weeks. It's amazing I even caught that I did that. Alright. So let's move on to what I actually did get accomplished this week. Okay, so here is my little sheep. He kind of has a big bob, big nose, and I put the little white on his eyes. But and his feet are pretty forward, so he sits in your hand pretty good. And I like the way he came out. I was concerned that his head was too small, but he looks okay. So I was happy to have gotten that done. And then I moved on to squids. Funny story. At that last event I was at, this little girl comes in and she's wearing what I thought was an octopus on her head, tied under her chin, you know. And she finally came around to my booth and I was like, let me see that octopus you had on your head. And she pulled it out and it was a squid that she had purchased from me last year. And I actually sold the last squid I had earlier before she got there. And so I figured I better hurry up and get some squids done. So we have green and purple and pink and like a turquoise. And believe it or not, those took me like 2 days to make. 2 days. And here I was thinking I was really pushing them out. And then I dug out, I kind of put them all in the little cabinet. And then when I'm ready to make a video, I pull them all out. And I was like, that's really not a lot. As much as I thought I was getting accomplished. But I wanted to get some little bears done for, you know, Easter. I try to get some Easter colors and baby colors into my booth. And so we have this little bear. I don't know why this arm, on all of them, this arm sticks out. It's driving me crazy. But I got this bear done. And these are all made with a fluffy fleck yarn from Loops and Threads. And really cute small bears. I'll probably put a $20 price tag on these little bears. And then we got a yellow and a purple and a green. I mean, I literally just finished this purple one this morning, and they're awful cute. And that fluffy fleck is really easy to work with. I was very pleasantly surprised at how easy it was to work with. It feels, when you first feel it, it feels like it is the same as baby burnout, but it glides better than, in my opinion, it glides better than baby burnout. Which, of course, you know, some baby burnouts are tougher than others. But these are really soft. I really like how it feels. It's very, almost velvety blanket yarn. But I like it. Alright, well, there you go. That's all I got done this week. We went and did a bunch of errands. We did the clean out on Monday and Tuesday at her house, and then we went and did errands in the big city on yesterday, Wednesday. And then, of course, today I have been crocheting and researching, and I can't wait to show you. Our little puppies had passed away quite a long time. The last one, we had 3 Chihuahuas, and the last one passed away in 2019. And we had some headstones out there where they were, where they're buried. But over time, they have degraded. They were just handmade. And so I purchased some new headstones for them. And I can't wait for those to come in. And I'll show you those. There's our little Chiquita Banana, Taco Bell, and Stitch. They were a family. Taco Bell was the daddy. Chiquita and Stitch were the babies. And they were our family for quite a long time. So I am excited to get their headstones done. There is a good possibility my lady's niece is going to end up holding a little memorial service here locally for her local friends, and I am so grateful for that. Even though I don't feel like I need it, maybe I do. Maybe I do. All right. I think that's about it. That's everything that was on my list. Oh, wait. No, it's not. Put your glasses on, girl. I see there's one more thing. Oh, next market. Next market is this Saturday, and it is at the museum. The museum did a market last year around, I don't know, November, and it went really well. And so they've decided to start doing a quarterly market. And so this will be their first spring market. And I'm really looking forward to it. I really enjoy the atmosphere there. I'm a little concerned about the wind aspect. There will be some gusty winds, 25 to 30 miles an hour. So that is a concern. But there are plenty of trees around, and they have these really large structures of like dinosaurs and stuff. So I think we could find a spot that will be pretty out of the breeze. Fingers crossed. But yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. And and as far as how the museum is going, I initially gave them 26 pieces in January, and so 2 months later they are down to 4 pieces, I think. So that's pretty good for our small little town. I'll take it. So, all right. Well, I will see you hopefully after my event. I'm really trying hard to get back to the swing of things after so long of being out of it. And I do appreciate your patience with me. And I will see you next time. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.